The beloved sci-fi series Lost in Space, 1965 to 1968, may have transported audiences to faraway galaxies, but behind the scenes, the cast faced real-life tragedies far more heart-wrenching than any on-screen adventure. From sudden illnesses to personal battles and untimely deaths, the fates of the 29 cast members paint a somber picture of Hollywood's darker side. In this article, we uncover the heartbreaking stories of how the stars of Lost in Space met their tragic ends, revealing the hidden pain behind the iconic show that captivated millions. Dawson Palmer, born on August 27, 1936, in the sunlit streets of Los Angeles, seemed destined for the spotlight early on, towering over his peers with a height that brought him fame as a basketball prodigy. Yet, his heart yearned for something beyond the court, and Hollywood called. Palmer found his niche in the shadows, playing various monsters on Lost in Space from 1965, his hulking presence perfect for the creatures that haunted Irwin Allen's productions. Palmer married Barbara, but the couple's life was strangely quiet, never hearing the laughter of children. Beneath the surface, tragedy was brewing. First, he survived a catastrophic car crash, which left him physically unscathed but emotionally shattered. Not long after, his mother passed away, a loss that plunged him into a dark spiral of grief. It was as if the monsters he played had finally taken hold of his life. His story ended abruptly on September 10, 1972, at a very young age of 36, when another car accident claimed his life. His legacy remains a spectral one, immortalized in the alien faces he wore. Harry Monty, born on April 15, 1904, in the dusty outskirts of Dallas, Texas, was a child of the road, born into a world of performers. Vaudeville was his first stage, and though small in stature, Monty commanded attention, turning limitations into triumphs. He found his way into Hollywood, where his most memorable role would be as a Munchkin in The Wizard of Oz. By 1966, he joined Lost in Space, portraying the curious character Jiu, adding another unique role to his varied resume. Monty married, but their house remained childless, filled only with echoes of vaudeville memories. In his later years, sorrow weighed heavily on him with the sudden death of his brother, a blow that left him distant and withdrawn. A serious health scare followed, further sapping his strength and joy. On December 28, 1999, at the age of 95, Harry Monty passed quietly from this world, his cause of death never fully disclosed. His legacy lives in the eccentric, colorful characters he brought to life, each one a testament to his resilience. Guy Williams, born on January 14, 1924, became a television icon as Dr. John Robinson in Lost in Space in 1965. Growing up in New York City, the son of Sicilian immigrants, Williams' early life was marked by financial struggle, but his sharp intellect and charm led him to Peekskill Military Academy, where his discipline and focus set him apart. Before Lost in Space, he was best known for his role as Zorro in the 1950s, which brought him fame across the globe. Despite his professional success, Williams' personal life was often lonely. He married Janice Cooper in 1948, and they had 2 children, Guy Jr. and Stephen, but the pressures of fame and frequent travel strained their relationship. His life took a dark turn in the late 1950s when he survived a near-fatal car crash, leaving him physically scarred and emotionally shaken. His father's sudden death soon after added to his grief. In his later years, Williams withdrew from public life, living in near seclusion in Argentina, where he died on April 30, 1989, at the age of 65, from a brain aneurysm. Though he spent his final years far from the spotlight, his roles as heroic figures left a lasting impact on fans worldwide. Mark Goddard, born on July 24, 1936, found his breakout role as Major Don West in Lost in Space in 1965, solidifying his place in television history. Raised in Lowell, Massachusetts, Goddard had dreams of becoming a professional basketball player but was forced to abandon them after an injury. Shifting his focus to acting, he gained early success with The Detectives, but it was Lost in Space that brought him lasting recognition. While his career flourished, his personal life was tumultuous. Goddard married 3 times and had 5 children, but his second marriage ended in tragedy when his wife died in a car accident, a loss that haunted him for years. He also battled with his own health problems, surviving a heart attack in his later years, only to be diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis, a condition that gradually worsened. Though he transitioned to teaching special education, a career he found fulfilling, his health continued to decline. He passed away on October 10, 2023, at the age of 87, leaving behind a complex legacy of fame, personal sorrow, and quiet dedication to helping others in his final years. Jonathan Harris, born on November 6, 1914, captivated audiences as the villainous yet humorous Dr. Zachary Smith in Lost in Space starting in 1965. Raised in the Bronx, Harris was initially drawn to the sciences, earning a degree in pharmacology, but his love for the theater led him to a career in acting. His flamboyant portrayal of Dr. Smith became a defining part of his career, though it also typecast him, limiting his opportunities in the following decades. Harris married his high school sweetheart, Gertrude Bregman, and they had one son, but despite a stable family life, he struggled with feelings of professional stagnation after the show's end. The death of his mother in the 1970s, coupled with the decline in his acting opportunities, deepened his sense of isolation. Though he found renewed success in voice acting, particularly in animated shows and films, Harris longed for the days when he had been at the height of his fame. He passed away on November 3, 2002, at the age of 87, from a blood clot in his heart, leaving behind a body of work remembered for its humor, charm, and the occasional touch of villainy. Dee Hartford, born on April 21, 1928, in the serene landscape of Salt Lake City, possessed a beauty that was as sharp as it was ethereal, leading her to the pages of Vogue as a model. Her striking looks soon drew her to the bright lights of television, where she dazzled audiences with guest roles, most notably as the android Verta in Lost in Space starting in 1966. She also left her mark on classic shows like Batman and The Twilight Zone. Hartford's personal life, however, was as tumultuous as her career was graceful. She married director Howard Hawks, a union that ended, only for her to find love again with Stuart Kramer III. They had one child, but the cracks in her marriages ran deep. Tragedy struck when her sister passed, leaving her grappling with sorrow while enduring a bitter divorce. Dee Hartford passed away on October 21, 2018, at the age of 90, her final years marked by peace but shadowed by her earlier heartaches. Though her career was fleeting, she left behind a legacy intertwined with the golden era of television, her roles forever glowing in the memories of those who watched her. Fritz Feld, born on October 15, 1900, in Berlin, Germany, played Mr. Zumnish in Lost in Space starting in 1966. Growing up in a Jewish family during the volatile years of pre-World War II Germany, he began his acting career on the German stage before the rise of Nazism forced him to flee to the United States. His unique comedic talent and his trademark pop sound, made by slapping his mouth, quickly became a Hollywood hallmark. Feld's career spanned more than 6 decades, with appearances in over 140 films, including classics like Bringing Up Baby and TV shows such as I Love Lucy. In 1940, he married actress Virginia Christine, famous for her role as Mrs. Olson in Folgers coffee commercials. Together, they had 2 sons, Paul and Stephen. Despite his professional success, Feld faced significant personal challenges, including the tragic death of his brother during World War II and his own decline into dementia in his later years. He passed away on November 18, 1993, at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy of eccentric humor and unforgettable character roles. Sheila Allen, born on February 2, 1929, in Chard, Somerset, England, portrayed Aunt Gamma in Lost in Space in 1965. Raised in a family deeply involved in the theater, she developed her love for acting at a young age and trained at the prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. Her early career was spent in British theater, but she found her true breakout role in the 1970s miniseries Bouquet of Barbed Wire, which brought her widespread acclaim. In 1956, she married noted British director David Hugh Jones, and the couple had 2 children, Jonathan and Jessica. While her career thrived, her personal life was marked by tragedy when her husband passed away suddenly in 2008, leaving her heartbroken. Sheila also faced challenges in her career as she aged, finding fewer roles available in the competitive world of television and theater. She passed away on October 15, 2013, at the age of 84, leaving behind a legacy of powerful performances in both British stage and screen, remembered for her elegance and strength. Albert Salmi, born on March 11, 1928, in Brooklyn, New York, took on the role of Alonzo P. Tucker in Lost in Space beginning in 1966. The son of Finnish immigrants, Salmi grew up in a working-class family and served in the U.S. Army before finding his passion for acting. He studied under renowned acting coach Lee Strasberg and quickly made a name for himself on Broadway, most notably in Bus Stop, where his powerful performance earned critical acclaim. Over the years, he became a familiar face in Hollywood, known for his rugged character roles in over 150 film and TV projects, including The Twilight Zone and Gunsmoke. However, his personal life was tumultuous. He married twice, and his first wife, Peggy Ann Garner, tragically died, leaving him devastated. He later married Roberta Pollack, but their relationship grew strained. Salmi suffered from depression and failing health, leading to a tragic end when he and Roberta were found dead in a murder-suicide on April 22, 1990, at the age of 62. His legacy is remembered through his powerful screen presence and versatility as a character actor. Michael Rennie, born on August 25, 1909, in Bradford, Yorkshire, England, was a man of quiet elegance, raised in an affluent family that had little patience for his early attempts at independence. Before his path veered into acting, he worked in various odd jobs, from car salesman to factory worker, all while carrying the burden of family expectations. But in 1966, Rennie made his mark in Lost in Space as the Keeper, a role that reflected his ability to bring gravitas to even the most fantastical of stories. His earlier claim to fame was as Klaatu in the 1951 classic The Day the Earth Stood Still, a role that immortalized him in sci-fi history. Though his career flourished, his personal life was marred by misfortune. Twice married, he fathered 2 children, but neither marriage brought lasting happiness. The death of his brother sent him into a prolonged period of despair, followed by a debilitating health issue that shadowed his final years. Rennie passed away on June 10, 1971, at the age of 61, from an aortic aneurysm, his once vibrant life reduced to a series of losses and pain. Leonard Stone, born on November 3, 1923, in Salem, Oregon, was a man shaped by the war. After serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II, he sought solace in the arts, enrolling in the prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, a world away from the horrors he had witnessed. Stone's big break came in 1967 when he joined the cast of Lost in Space as Farnham, though his most famous role would come a few years later as Mr. Beauregard in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Despite the glamour of Hollywood, Stone's personal life was fraught with heartache. He married Carol Kleinman, with whom he had 4 children, but tragedy struck with the untimely deaths of his parents. Battling cancer in his later years, Stone's spirit was worn down by the relentless fight. He succumbed to the disease on November 2, 2011, just 1 day shy of his 88th birthday, leaving behind a legacy shaped by over 120 TV appearances and 35 films, but also the sorrow of a life weathered by loss. Robert Folk, born on May 5, 1908, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, wasn't always destined for the screen. Initially pursuing architecture at the University of Pennsylvania, Folk's career took an unexpected turn toward acting, a profession that seemed a world away from the structured, rigid world of design. Joining Lost in Space in 1967 as Cragmire, Folk added this to his already impressive resume, which included his memorable role as Sheriff H. Miller in Lassie. Behind the scenes, Folk's life was turbulent. He married Barbara Slater, with whom he had 1 child, but his first marriage had ended in tragedy, leaving a scar that never quite healed. A serious health issue plagued his later years, weakening him as the years passed. On February 25, 1989, at the age of 80, Folk died from coronary heart disease, his body finally giving out after years of battling one heartache after another. Marcel Hilaire, born on April 23, 1908, in Cologne, Germany, lived a life defined by survival and resilience. Coming from a culturally affluent family, his early years were marked by his passion for the theater, which he pursued in pre-war Germany. But with the rise of the Nazis, his Jewish heritage put him in peril, forcing him to flee to the United States. Here, he rebuilt his life, forging a career in Hollywood with his most notable role as the charming French chef in Sabrina, 1954. In 1967, he appeared as the junkman in Lost in Space, adding yet another memorable performance to his list. Despite his professional success, his personal life remained isolated. Hilaire never married, and the trauma of losing his family during the Holocaust haunted him. In his later years, his health deteriorated, leading to surgery that he never fully recovered from. He passed away on January 1, 1988, at the age of 79, from complications, leaving behind a body of work that stands as a testament to his versatility and determination to survive. Don Matheson, born on August 5, 1929, in Dearborn, Michigan, led a life of service and sacrifice before he ever set foot in Hollywood. A decorated Korean War veteran, Matheson's valor earned him a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart, but the scars from the battlefield ran deep. His transition to acting brought him some relief, and by 1965, he was portraying IDAK Alpha in Lost in Space, a role that would cement his status in the sci-fi world. His career reached its peak with Land of the Giants, 1968 to 1970, where he met and later married co-star Deanna Lund. They had one child, but their marriage crumbled, bringing him emotional turmoil. Tragedy struck again when his first wife passed away, leaving him to grapple with immense loss. Later in life, a battle with lung cancer slowly eroded his strength. He succumbed to the illness on June 29, 2014, at the age of 84, leaving behind memories of a man who fought both on the battlefield and against the relentless grip of fate. Alan Melvin, born on February 18, 1923, in Kansas City, Missouri, found his calling in the world of entertainment, though his journey started far from the glamorous lights of Hollywood. Growing up in New York City, Melvin initially worked in radio, crafting his voice and wit before transitioning to television. His comedic talents flourished in various character roles, with his portrayal of Sam the Butcher on The Brady Bunch standing as a career-defining moment. He joined the cast of Lost in Space in 1966, taking on the role of Enforcer Claudio. Despite his on-screen success, Melvin's personal life was touched by sorrow. He married Amalia Faustina Sestero, and they had 2 children, but the death of his parents left a void that never healed. Later in life, cancer struck, slowly dimming his bright spirit. He passed away on January 17, 2008, at the age of 84, his legacy as a beloved actor and voice artist secure, yet his journey one of private battles and quiet resilience. Hoke Howell, born on August 27, 1929, in Sumner, Georgia, played a security guard in Lost in Space, beginning his journey with the show in 1965. Growing up in the rural South, Howell developed a distinctive drawl that not only became his trademark but also endeared him to audiences across the nation. He gained fame for his role in The Andy Griffith Show, where his comedic timing and charm shone through. Howell married Patsy Joanne Stewart, and together they raised 3 children, creating a close-knit family. However, life was not without its tragedies. He faced the heartbreaking loss of his father, which left a profound impact on him, and he later battled severe health issues. Howell passed away on May 9, 1997, at the age of 67, due to heart failure. His legacy endures through his versatile character roles that left an indelible mark on television history. Warren Oates, born on July 5, 1928, in Depoy, Kentucky, portrayed Jimmy Hapgood in Lost in Space, making his debut with the show in 1965. Raised in a small rural community, he initially served in the U.S. Marine Corps, which instilled in him a strong sense of discipline that would serve him well in his acting career. Oates's breakthrough came with his role in The Wild Bunch, 1969, directed by Sam Peckinpah, where his intense performances captured the hearts of audiences and critics alike. He was married 4 times and had 4 children, navigating the complexities of family life while pursuing a demanding career. Despite his successes, Oates faced personal tragedy with the loss of his brother and a lengthy battle with heart disease. He passed away on April 3, 1982, at the age of 53, due to a heart attack. His legacy lives on through his unforgettable performances, which continue to inspire new generations of actors. Retta Shaw, born on September 13, 1912, in South Paris, Maine, played Aunt Clara Sims in Lost in Space, joining the cast in 1965. Growing up in a theatrical family, Shaw was immersed in the arts from a young age and honed her skills at the Leland Powers School of the Theatre. Her career highlight came with her memorable role as Mrs. Brill in Mary Poppins, 1964, where her comedic talent and strong presence shone brightly. Shaw married William A. Forrester, and they welcomed 1 child, fostering a loving household. However, her life was marked by sorrow with the tragic loss of her sister, which affected her deeply. In her later years, she battled emphysema, a struggle that took its toll on her health. Shaw passed away on January 8, 1982, at the age of 69, due to emphysema. Her legacy includes a rich body of work characterized by strong, authoritative roles that left a lasting impression on both film and television. Royal Dano, born on November 16, 1922, in New York City, played Major Domo in Lost in Space, starting in 1966. Growing up in a vibrant, diverse neighborhood, he discovered his love for acting early on, eventually attending New York University, where he honed his craft. Dano's distinctive voice and emotive style earned him acclaim, particularly for his role as Abraham Lincoln in Disney's Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Throughout his life, he was married to Peggy Rank, with whom he had 2 children, but personal tragedies weighed heavily on him. The loss of his brother left him devastated, and he suffered a severe car accident that not only impacted his health but also marked a turning point in his career, forcing him to adapt to new roles. Dano passed away on May 15, 1994, at the age of 71, due to a heart attack, leaving a legacy that encapsulated both his remarkable talent and profound struggles. Michael Ansara, born on April 15, 1922, in Mandate for Syria and the Lebanon, portrayed the ruler in Lost in Space, beginning in 1966. His family immigrated to the United States when he was just a toddler, and he grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts, where he developed a passion for acting. After serving in the U.S. military, he achieved significant fame for his role as Cochise in the television series Broken Arrow, establishing him as a versatile actor. Ansara married 3 times and had 1 child, however, his personal life was marred by tragedy. He faced the heartbreaking loss of his son, which left him emotionally scarred, and in his later years, he struggled with Alzheimer's disease, impacting both his career and quality of life. He passed away on July 31, 2013, at the age of 91, due to complications from Alzheimer's. While his performances remain beloved, the depth of his personal challenges adds a poignant layer to his story. Mercedes McCambridge, born on March 16, 1916, in Joliet, Illinois, played Sibylla in Lost in Space, starting in 1966. Raised in a devout Irish-American Catholic family, she began her career in radio, which eventually led her to film and television, showcasing her immense talent. McCambridge won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in All the King's Men, 1949, solidifying her status as one of Hollywood's leading actresses. She married twice and had 1 child, but her life was punctuated by profound tragedies. The untimely loss of her son weighed heavily on her, and she battled alcoholism for many years, a struggle that often led her to dark places. Despite these challenges, she remained a respected figure in the industry. McCambridge passed away on March 2, 2004, at the age of 87, due to natural causes, and her powerful performances continue to resonate, overshadowed by the personal battles she faced throughout her life. Michael J. Pollard, born on May 30, 1939, in Passaic, New Jersey, played the boy in Lost in Space starting in 1966. Growing up in a working-class family, Pollard was drawn to acting at a young age, attending the Actors Studio, where he cultivated his distinctive style. His breakout role came with Bonnie and Clyde, 1967, where he portrayed C.W. Moss, earning him an Academy Award nomination and acclaim for his captivating performance. Pollard's personal life was marked by tumult, as he married 3 times and had 2 children, though his relationships often faced strain. He endured the tragic loss of his father early in life, which left a lasting impact on him, and he battled alcoholism, which complicated his later years. His health declined due to cardiac issues, and he passed away on November 20, 2019, at the age of 80 from cardiac arrest. Pollard's legacy remains alive in Hollywood, remembered for his unique characters and contributions to both film and television. Strother Martin, born on March 26, 1919, in Kokomo, Indiana, was a beloved character actor who portrayed Naram in Lost in Space starting in 1966. Raised in a family that encouraged physical prowess, Martin excelled in swimming and diving, even competing nationally before shifting his focus to acting. His defining moment came in Cool Hand Luke, 1967, where his portrayal of the prison captain and the iconic line, "What we've got here is failure to communicate," cemented his status in cinematic history. Martin married Helen Meisels in 1967, but their union did not produce children, leaving him with a longing for family that was unfulfilled. Tragically, he experienced the painful loss of his mother, which cast a shadow over his life, along with battling severe health issues later on. He passed away on August 1, 1980, at the age of 61 due to a heart attack, but his dynamic performances continue to resonate, showcasing his remarkable talent in film and television. Werner Klemperer, born on March 22, 1920, in Cologne, Germany, played Bolix in Lost in Space, starting in 1966. His family's escape from Nazi Germany in 1933 to the United States greatly influenced his artistic path, eventually leading him to serve in the U.S. Army during World War II. Klemperer achieved iconic status as Colonel Klink in Hogan's Heroes, a role that earned him 2 Emmy Awards and showcased his comedic brilliance. He married 4 times and had 2 children, but the personal joy of fatherhood was often tinged with sorrow, particularly after the tragic loss of his sister. Klemperer faced his own battles with cancer, which ultimately took his life on December 6, 2000, at the age of 80. His legacy is one of versatility and depth, with performances that spanned both dramatic and comedic roles, leaving a lasting impact on television and film that continues to be celebrated. Wally Cox, born on December 6, 1924, in Detroit, Michigan, brought the character of Tiabo to life in Lost in Space, starting in 1966. Growing up in Evanston, Illinois, he was a gifted student who befriended Marlon Brando, an early indication of his passion for performance. After honing his comedic skills as a stand-up comedian, Cox gained fame as the lead in the television series Mr. Peepers, 1952 to 1955, which showcased his gentle humor and likability. His personal life was riddled with heartbreak. He was married 3 times and had 2 children but endured the tragic loss of his mother during his formative years. Additionally, he suffered from health problems, which may have contributed to his later struggles. Cox was also known for his iconic voice work as Underdog, which endeared him to a new generation. He passed away on February 15, 1973, at the age of 48, due to a heart attack, leaving a legacy of memorable performances that highlighted both his comedic talent and the complexities of his personal life. Mike Kellen, born on April 26, 1922, in Hartford, Connecticut, portrayed Maiko in Lost in Space, starting in 1966. Raised in a family that valued patriotism, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy during World War II, serving as a lieutenant commander. This experience shaped his character and work ethic, which he carried into his acting career. Kellen gained recognition for his role in The Wackiest Ship in the Army, 1960, where his talent for comedy shone brightly. However, his personal life was marked by tragedy, he married twice and had one child, facing the devastating loss of his first wife. Later, he was diagnosed with lung cancer, a battle that overshadowed his later years and impacted his work in theater and television. He passed away on August 26, 1983, at the age of 61, due to complications from lung cancer, leaving a diverse body of work that showcases both his comedic and dramatic range. Henry Jones, born on August 1, 1912, in Atlantic City, New Jersey, played Jeremiah Smith in Lost in Space, starting in 1966. Raised in a family that encouraged creativity, he developed a passion for acting and later served in the U.S. Army during World War II, an experience that informed his later performances. Jones is perhaps best known for his compelling portrayal of Leroy Jessup in The Bad Seed, 1956, a role that solidified his reputation as a skilled character actor. He married twice and had 2 children, but his personal life was marred by the tragic passing of his second wife, which left him heartbroken. As he aged, he faced significant health challenges that tested his resilience. He passed away on May 17, 1999, at the age of 86, due to a fall, leaving behind a legacy of over 180 appearances in film and television, a testament to his talent and dedication to his craft. Dennis Patrick, born on March 14, 1918, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, made his mark as Kima in Lost in Space starting in 1966. Growing up in a working-class family, Patrick's passion for acting was ignited early, prompting him to pursue studies at Fordham University, where he honed his craft. His most notable achievement came with his multifaceted role in the soap opera Dark Shadows, where he captivated audiences by portraying several characters, showcasing his impressive range and versatility. Despite his professional success, Patrick faced personal tragedies, including the loss of his first wife, which deeply affected him. He experienced significant health issues later in life, culminating in a tragic house fire that claimed his life on October 13, 2002, at the age of 84. With over 1,800 guest roles in television, Patrick's legacy endures as a testament to his dedication and versatility as an actor, leaving behind an indelible mark in the entertainment industry. James Westerfield, born on March 22, 1913, in Nashville, Tennessee, is best remembered for his role as Dr. Marvello in Lost in Space, which he began in 1966. After moving to Detroit, Michigan, Westerfield's passion for the arts flourished, leading him to join the esteemed Pasadena Community Playhouse, where he cultivated his talents. His career reached a significant highlight with his performance in the critically acclaimed film On the Waterfront, 1954, where he demonstrated his exceptional acting abilities and garnered recognition within the industry. Westerfield married twice but did not have children, which left him to focus primarily on his craft. His life was marked by tragedy as he experienced the loss of his father and faced health challenges, including a battle with heart disease. Sadly, he passed away on September 20, 1971, at the age of 58 due to a heart attack. Westerfield's legacy lives on through his extensive body of work in film and television, where he created memorable character roles that continue to resonate with audiences today. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in Lost in Space 1965 to 1968, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.